Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon if it's afternoon where you are. Good evening if it's nighttime over there. Welcome to another episode of Magical Collectibles Sundays. Today, I am joined by the lovely Brittany from Brittany's
Yay!
Magic Truck. Brittany, how are
Hi.
you?
Good morning, Mel. I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking me to be on the live stream with you this morning. I'm
Oh,
really happy to be here.
of course, you know that you can I would love to have you here anytime that you are available. So, thank you so much for joining. It's always fun. You know,
Yeah.
um what I was thinking right before the stream, I was just like, I would love to do like a oh my gosh, like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a Spotify kind of thing.
Ooh,
A podcast. There you go. I feel
yeah.
like that would be so cool too.
Mhm.
So, and that way I don't have to make myself camera ready, even though right now I barely have any makeup. I just kind of have some concealer and I just look like I've just been cleaning my house. But
You look
but
great. Don't
thank you.
worry. You
And my
look
bangs
great.
are way too long, so I had to pin them on the side.
Yep.
So yeah, but I mean, I was thinking about a podcast. I was like, a podcast would be kind of cool. Uh,
Yeah. So I don't know if you actually know this, Mel. I actually have a podcast channel with a few friends from work.
oh, I
And
didn't know that.
you didn't know that? Okay. So,
No.
we mainly talk like pop culture type things. So,
Okay.
well, let me backtrack. So, our name is The Watchers in the Basement, and it
You know what? I'm
comes
gonna put you
from,
full screen. So,
oh
okay,
God,
great.
hello.
Go
Hello,
ahead.
people. So, yeah, we're called The Watchers in the Basement,
Mhm.
and it derived from Game of Thrones, the Watchers on the Wall, which are the men who watch the wall. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory. But we started the podcast like right before season 8 of Game of Thrones came out,
Okay.
and that's how it got started. And then we were really disappointed with season 8 of Game of Thrones. But we decided to keep it going to talk like Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC, things that are streaming like on all those platforms, Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, etc. And so we have kind of like an not a decent, well, yeah, we have like 70 something pods out there already.
That's awesome.
And we took a brief hiatus in the summer for like 6 months. It's like we all went on vacation and then we just never came back. But with the release of Spider-Man at the end of last year, that kind of like put us back into podcast mode to want to come on to YouTube, because we do live stream. Well, now we do live streams on YouTube, but we do like recorded things. But we're able to also upload our files to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. So you can find us there on whatever podcast platforms you listen to. Again, we're called The Watchers in the Basement. I'll put a link here in case anyone's interested
Yes,
in
I was
checking
gonna
out our
ask you if
YouTube.
you,
Yeah,
you had a link, if you can put it up
yeah, for
there. I'm
sure.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure I made you a mod for my channel, so you should be
You
able to drop that.
did.
Yeah, so
Yes,
you should be able
ma'am.
to drop that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's fun. There's 5 of us. Well, I say originally there's 5 of us. We've dwindled down to 4.
Okay.
So it's a lot of people, a lot of opinions, and we can be long-winded just because, we have a lot to say about these different things that we're watching. So like right now, we're kind of catching up on the different releases from the MCU. We recently just did a pod on the Eternals, and then Hawkeye, which was on Disney Plus, and we're gearing up to kind of do our review for Shang-Chi. And then I think eventually when it finally is over, we're going to do a review, like a whole season review of the Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, I mean we've got some things on our plate, but it'll take a couple weeks to to get out there. But
That is
it's fun, and I
cool.
think you should do it too. It's different, especially like I said, or like you had mentioned, if you don't want to, you know, full face it, which you still look great either way.
Oh,
But
thanks.
it's different. It's fun to do. Um, but I think that'd be great. I think that'd be awesome for you to do that.
Yeah, like because I feel like here even though we still show our faces, it kind of feels a lot like a podcast sometimes because we tend to
Yes.
show the collectibles and you don't always see our faces, but you can hear us. So I was
Yeah.
like, you know, um a podcast would be kind of cool.
Mhm.
So I don't know. We'll see. I might ask you for some like tips on that,
For
just see how
sure.
to set it up. But yeah, if you have that link, definitely drop it here. I do have your link for your channel, guys. So if you have not checked out Brittany's channel, definitely do. I mean, she's a huge Harry Potter fan, of course, and she loves all like magical things and obviously pop culture. I mean, she was just talking about this amazing podcast. Now, Brittany, since we're talking about your channel,
Mhm.
for the friends that might not be super familiar with your channel, can you
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about what we can find when we go visit Brittany's magic truck?
Sure, absolutely. So my channel, I just started just for funsies, nothing too serious, just kind of like a break the monotony of working from home for the last 2 years and, living in this pandemic, of course. So my first video ever was an unboxing from the Wizarding Trunk. So I am subscribed to that subscription box, which by the way, Mel, you already know that subscription box is bomb. Like they've got great stuff, right? And so I have that. I've also had some DIY type videos as well as Lego speed builds because I do love Legos. I actually just got like four like in the mail the other day. I have a problem. I know. So yeah, but upcoming videos will feature supporting small businesses that are on Etsy or otherwise. And then also, I want to do another DIY video on how I thrifted a mirror into a pinboard. I already have
That
one.
Oh
I
my
already have
gosh,
one
it's
in my
so
room.
basic.
I already have one in my room. I'm not in my, room because literally I just have like a little corner in my bedroom that's Harry Potter related. So I'm in our computer room. But yeah, so I think doing that DIY thrifted um, pin board will be fun. And I know you're a huge pin collector, so
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
right up your alley.
and I mean, like, you are super crafty. For you guys that might not know, like, Brittany is super crafty. Like,
Thank you.
she made these really, oh my gosh, what have you not made? First of all, Brittany made her own, teacup and saucer from, like,
Mhm.
Harry Potter with, like, the leaves there, the divination one with the grim on the inside. Her teacup was freaking amazing. She made ornaments. What doesn't she make? And it's like so cool. I'm always like, Brittany, are you gonna open an Etsy shop? So
I know everyone asks me that, and the answer right now is no. I don't have an intention to, make things and put them up for sale. I'm sure or I'm just being narcissistic. I'm sure people would buy the items and that'd be awesome. Um, but for right now, I just enjoy making things for myself, for my friends here, on Pottergram, and also to do for giveaways because I have ideas to do some of my DIYs as giveaways. So I think that'll be fun because, like the small businesses, it's something that you
right.
can't get anywhere else, obviously. And I feel like for right now, if I did an Etsy shop, it might just take the fun out of making these things for, myself, for others and that kind of thing. So, yeah, like I said, it for now, no. Who knows in the future? We'll see.
Well, I mean, that makes me really excited for any upcoming giveaways from your channel.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, okay, that's the only way to get these items is by, like, making sure you, like, enter Britney's giveaways and see if you win them.
Yeah.
But, since a lot of you guys, know, we do Disney news here and some Harry Potter news as well.
Yep.
Now, Brittany, I think we've talked about this before, but which one is your favorite Disney princess?
Come on, Mel. Sleeping Beauty is
Yeah,
is
I knew
my
that, but I
favorite.
want you to share that with our friends here. Okay, Sleeping Beauty. So would you say that's, like, also your favorite Disney movie?
It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I have several and they mainly go with the classics, the pre-Pixar, that kind of thing. I think those classics are it's self-explanatory. They're classics, and
Right.
obviously time has evolved, technology has advanced. I love that, Pixar exists. And so, of course, Toy Story is going to be one of my other favorite Disney movies. I absolutely love Wally. Wally is just so cute. And I keep looking up because I have pops over here in this corner
Oh,
that are Wally. And I did get, because of you and McDorks, I did get the Disney Princess metallic Aurora, I guess you can call it, and it came
yeah,
with
the one that
that
came with
that
the pin.
pin. Yes, I did buy that, and I would get it to show y'all, but it's like way up there. Um, but yeah, I absolutely love. Let's see, what else do I have too? Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. It is Disney. It
Yes,
is
it
Disney.
is. It is.
So love me some Johnny Depp. I mean, Mel, if you ever want to do a podcast and it's talking about Johnny Depp, I'm your girl. Come on.
Okay, okay, all right, I'm gonna write that down. So, yeah, which you know what, we're gonna talk about that, about actually about Johnny Depp once we get to our Harry Potter section. You gave me an idea, so I want to ask you about this. Yeah. Um, so that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. We do miss Christian and Michael. We did talk about
Yes,
that
we
during the
do.
last stream. So their work schedules are a little bit different now. So they're going to be
Mhm.
joining us whenever they do have some free time, whenever they're available. So we love you guys if you're watching. So definitely. But how about we get started with some like Disney news? Today is going to be a little bit light on the news. I feel like this week was pretty quiet, but we
Mhm.
did get some pretty cool news. So we have about 4 or 5 news to talk about. So we're gonna
Sounds
start
good.
with we're gonna start with our Disney news. So, Brittany, are you familiar with a company called Fig Pin?
I am not.
So, Fig Pin is a company that does these pins, right? That are also figurines. So, I'm actually showing
Ooh.
their website real quick. This is the Fig Pin website. It's really their blog right now. So, they kind of in the blog section they kind of talk about any new things that are coming out. So, they're coming out with these really cool Mandalorian fig pins. The reason they're called fig pins is because they're pins and they're also figurines. So, they have these stands on the back, so you can actually display your pins as a figurine if you want to do it that way. So it gives you a couple options as to how to display your pins and kind of just really, really display them. So I think
Yeah,
it's like,
that's different. I've
yeah,
never heard of pins that are like little figures,
yeah,
that
you
you
know
can
what?
you can display as figures. That's different.
Yeah,
That's out of the box. That's cool.
I think I know I have some here and well, I have some here. I'll have to go get. I don't think I have any handy right now, but I do have a few fake pins. But Um, they also make some Harry Potter fig pins here. So once I show this, I'm gonna pull up, see if they have their Harry Potter fig pins available here. Yeah. So with this, we're actually gonna get a couple of releases this Wednesday. So we are going to get some commons. So we're gonna get let's see here. Luke Skywalker, the Dark Trooper, Mandalorian with Grogu. These are all gonna be fig pin commons, and they're gonna be coming out this Wednesday through Figpin's website, probably available through other retailers as well. And then we're also going to get, I don't know how to pronounce this, Brit. So if you know, is it Din Djarin?
It is yeah, you said it right, Din Djarin.
Ah, perfect. I was like, is the D silent?
No.
Like Django? um,
That's
so
another movie I love.
you know what? I do like that movie. It is a little.
It's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough.
it is. I was gonna say it's a little tough. It's a little like heavy, but I guess it does have a happy ending. I guess.
It's not Disney related. It's not family oriented in that sense. So no, we'll stick
Yeah.
to Disney for now. That can
Right, right.
be reserved for your podcast.
There you go. So we're gonna get the Dinjarin fig pin. That one is gonna be an LE 1500 or limited edition of 1500, and it's also going to be available on Wednesday. Now these are going to be available at 10 a.m. Pacific, which would be 1 p.m. Eastern. So just to get a little preview here. Um, so this is the Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker, fake pin common. And then we have the Dark Trooper common, and then we have the Mandalorian with Grogu common. So right here, I'm the biggest fake fan, but was that supposed to be the Mandalorian's like real name, Din Djarin?
Yes, so,
Oh my
this
gosh.
this is, like, major spoilers for those who have not watched The Mandalorian. There's 2 seasons out right now for The Mandalorian. By the way, that's another, show that we've covered on my podcast over on the Watchers in the Basement. Ha, there's my plug-in. So yes, Din Djarin, he is the Mandalorian. He's played by Pedro Pascal, who was also in Game of Thrones. And part of the Mandalorian code is to never remove their helmet. And so at the end of season 2, and basically all these pins are from season 2, because the big spoiler at the end dealt with Luke Skywalker. So that was incredible. I'm not the biggest fan of the Mandalorian show. I've watched it because it's Star Wars, and like I've been so invested in Star Wars since birth, basically, because my brother, grew up with Star Wars. So I will watch all of the shows. They're not the best in my opinion, but with the Mandalorian here, yes, I can see why this last pin is the exclusive, just because the fact that in the show, it's, like I said, part of the code that the Mandalorian never removes their helmet in front of anyone. And that does happen. So,
Um,
yeah.
I'm like mind blown because I did watch The Mandalorian season 1 and 2. How did I not pick up that that was his name? I was like, is he just like a nameless the Mando? Mando, it's Mando.
Right. They keep calling him Mando, short for Mandalorian. Yeah.
I you know what? It seems like I need to rewatch the second season or at least the last couple of episodes because I did not know that was his name. Oh my gosh. I'm just like the biggest
Yeah.
fake fan ever. Like hashtag number one fake fan right here. Because I did not know that. I was like, "Who is Din Djarin?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, that's Pedro Pascal." Like, what?
Yes.
Mando? All right.
Yes.
Well, there you
That's
have it,
him.
guys. So that's how you know that I don't know anything about Star Wars, even though I did watch both seasons and I really like them. But that is really
Mhm.
cool, you guys. So again, these pins are going to be available on Wednesday. So the Fig Pin exclusive is Din Djarin. And only 1,500 available through Fig Pin's website. And then the other pins that we saw earlier are just going to be the commons. Which one is your favorite, Brittany?
I'm gonna have to go with Luke. I absolutely love how they did Luke with the hooded um cape thing. What do you even call that? Is it a cape? We're gonna go
Uh,
with cape. It's hooded. Cloak. It's a cloak. But the saber, the iconic green saber, and like I said, at the end of season 2 for the Mandalorian, this was like the biggest whoa from the entire show, in my opinion. And I think it left audiences just floored, because we got to see Luke Skywalker. And I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it for everyone. It was actually Mark Hamill, who plays Luke Skywalker. Now they de-aged him to, make it look like it followed Return of the Jedi, which is, episode 6 of Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan too. Just not as heavy as my husband. Um, so this show,
impressive.
Mandalorian, uh, the Mandalorian show kind of picks up just maybe a few years after the end of sorry, I can't even talk right now. The Return of the Jedi. So for Luke, he's still young, and he's awesome. Hey, look, we've got
Trish,
Christian
I
and Michael here. Hi,
know.
guys.
Hey guys, and Umpty, I saw you here. Good morning, and Nadia, good morning. Oh,
Yes. Good
Christian.
morning to everyone. Um, so this pin, Mel, Luke Skywalker from The Mandalorian, that's probably gonna be my favorite fig pen, like for sure. And I didn't even know these things existed, but this is really, really cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can grab one of the fig pins. Because the cool thing is that you can, like I said, there the back. Oh my goodness, the little rubber backings on the back. It looks like a stand, so you can actually stand it up.
Oh, cool.
um, yeah. So Michael, hola. Oh, they're
Oh,
both
they're
here.
here. Aw.
Oh, hey Tats, good morning. Christian or Michael, if you want me to send you an invite, I can definitely do that. I know that you guys are kind of doing your thing right now, but if you want, you can definitely join us. Oh, so happy to have you
Please
guys
do
here.
if you can. I'd love to talk to you guys. Haven't felt like I haven't talked to them in forever.
I know. You know what? I'm gonna send you an invite just in case. Don't feel like you need to join right now because I know that you got a couple things to do, but I just sent you an invite just in case. Um, Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did it come through? That was me sending them the invite. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm mind blown right now. I did not know that Din Djarin was Mando. Oh my goodness, biggest fake fan moment. Oh my goodness. But yes, you know what? Yeah, I don't. I could have sworn I have a fig pin right here. I had some and I just moved a bunch of things around because I really need to redo
Yeah.
my little studio here. And I'm like right now scanning around the room to see if I still have a fig pin in here. I could have sworn I had I have like this Mickey and Minnie like duo fig pin set. And I could have sworn that I
Aw.
had them right here in this studio. I'm still scanning for it. Do I have it here? Let me see. Cause well well, if I find it, I'll definitely show it. Um,
Sounds
but
good.
yeah. So they're really cool. Hey, Kat, good morning. Meg Dorks, sorry, I've been busy with the change of work schedule and trying to play catch up. We haven't uploaded anything all year. Oh, I know. This year has been really crazy. It just been nuts. So I totally hear
Yeah.
you on that. Um, but yeah, I mean, oh, I knew I was gonna do something. Oh, what the heck?
What?
Siri is talking. That was my watch. Siri goes like, knowledge is good.
Well,
Alrighty.
Siri's not wrong there, and you're a Ravenclaw, so you would, you'd be obliged to agree.
Right? So I'm just doing a little search for Harry Potter here because aha, there you go. So they do
Ooh.
have Harry Potter fig pins. So I do want to get some of these to be honest. So we have Harry, we have Ron, Hermione, and Hedwig. Looks like Hedwig is sold out.
Dang
So
it.
I know, but these are like really cool. I love Hermione, even though, Hermione is not a Ravenclaw like Luna. I really love her. I think she's so cool. So,
Yeah, it's a
let's
good looking pin.
yeah, I mean, it's $20, but I mean, I think it's cool. And the fact that you can display it just kind of like standing, I think that's really cool.
Mhm.
So now we know, we do have that. Oh, so Christian says, I want the Hedwig, but the extra large. Okay, so yes, that's another thing. There's like extra large fig pins, there's smaller ones. So there's some really big ones that
Oh.
are like the size of your hand, maybe a little bit
Mhm.
bigger. So yeah, so that is coming out this Wednesday. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because I'm gonna jump to some other pin news. So, Brittany, do you like Jessica Rabbit? Not a
She's
huge
such an
fan.
icon. No,
Oh,
she's such
okay.
an icon. I
Okay.
mean,
Yes.
let's just be real. She's such an icon, for, like, obvious reasons. But,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I love I won't say I love her, but I love the idea behind her, I guess you could say. So, yeah, what about Jessica Rabbit, Mel?
So I love Jessica Rabbit too. It's funny because I think she's like the Disney pinup girl. If Disney and pinup girl kind of go
That's a
together,
great way to put that.
right? Um, because I don't know if you guys do, but yeah, Jessica Rabbit, Roger Rabbit is it's a Disney movie. It came out, I think it's in
Mhm,
1987. So I
mhm.
really like collecting Jessica Rabbit pins because I feel like Jessica Rabbit is not your typical princess. I don't think she would be considered a princess at all. So but it's different. It's like in what she says, I'm not bad at just drawn that way. It just I don't know. It just I don't know. I think she's just so different and I feel like, all the pins that come out that are, Jessica Rabbit pins are just unique, and I don't know, I just like them. I
Mhm.
think they're really fun, to collect. So we actually
Yeah.
had some brand new Jessica Rabbit pins being released on Friday, so a couple days ago. Before I move into that, I'm gonna catch up with the chat. So Kat says the fig pins are really large, almost as large as the Funko Pop pins. Yeah, so there's
Ooh,
some that can be really big. There are
not a
other ones that
fan.
are smaller.
Not a fan of
Um
that.
now, Christian says, I still think Hermione was sorted into the wrong house.
I can see that because I think even, because I'm listening to the audiobooks right now. I can't remember which book was mentioning it, but Hermione in one of the books does say that it was kind of a toss-up between Ravenclaw and Gryffindor. So obviously she was sorted into Gryffindor, but I agree. I think she probably would have been just as successful in Ravenclaw. I don't know. What do y'all
I
think?
I agree. So Christian says, I would have loved that they were all in different houses because I feel like feel that them being the same
In the
house just
same
makes it seem
house.
their bond. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, that would have been interesting having them being from like different houses. Um,
I think that would speak to what he's talking about, like a unity. You know, there are differences among them, but they're still united on the same front of like love, you know, trust, and that's the bond that, you know, brings them or keeps them together. You know what I mean?
mhm.
What about Slytherin? Why can't one of them be in Slytherin? Sorry,
Um,
Slytherin. Can we see it?
who? I mean,
Slytherin.
out of the Golden Trio, who do you think would have been in Slytherin?
Harry. Harry.
I mean, we saw the whole conflict with the Sorting House. You know,
Yes.
I mean, the
Well,
Sorting Hat. Oh my gosh.
well, in fairness, that's only because a part of Voldemort's soul was inside Harry. That was the conflicting matter. Or that's just my opinion.
True, but do you think that he would still be? I think he would have still done well in Slytherin.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's definite determination, that ambition to, you know, be someone great. And he can be pretty resourceful, I will say. I will say. Still not the brightest. That's why I say he would have never been in Ravenclaw.
Yeah, Christian says yeah because the story to me looks like they joined because of Gryffindor, but they all kind of
Mm,
met before they were even sorted.
yeah, that's true.
So I don't like that they made it kind of seem like that's their bond.
I can see
Hey
that.
Nina, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. So yeah, it is pretty interesting to kind of see it that way. I mean, obviously we know that Hermione would go to Ravenclaw if we were going to do it that way.
Where would Ron go?
You know, I was thinking about that. I think that I think he actually fits really well in Gryffindor. I think he's really
Okay.
brave. Um I guess I could see him maybe in Slytherin too. I can't see him in a
Ooh,
Hufflepuff, you know. I feel like
really?
you know what? You know who I think would have been a great Hufflepuff? Neville.
Yep, I knew you were gonna say that. Absolutely
Neville.
knew you were gonna
Like,
say that. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he would be the perfect Hufflepuff, but I think that um I out of the 3 of them, obviously Harry's I mean, they're all great Gryffindors. I think that Ron does make a really good Gryffindor. He's really brave. I think I see him as a really brave character.
I think Ron, if we're talking about Ron from the books, definitely, because I don't think Ron from the movies was done like justice. Really, I
Yeah.
really like Ron from the books. Like he's witty. He's you know, kind of, he can be in your face at times, and I agree. I think he would still do well being in Gryffindor, but I could see that aspect of him being in Hufflepuff. But I 100% agree with you about Neville being in Hufflepuff. I mean, that's just, you know, he's a sweet
Yes.
kid. You know, he wasn't living up to his potential just because he was using his father's wand. I'm just going to delve into a little bit of like, you know, wand lore or whatever. But the wand that belongs to one wizard will never perform properly for another wizard unless that wizard has won it in some fashion. So the fact that like Neville was using his dad's wand for all those years up until Order of the Phoenix, he just wasn't performing like decent magic because of that. And afterwards, when he got his own wand, it was like boom, Neville is just this awesome, you know, wizard. So um, yeah, but I still think he would have been a good fit for Hufflepuff
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
agree. I'm just catching up here. Kat says, yeah, but one of Harry's kids is sorted into Slytherin, right?
Yes, that is correct. I don't deem Cursed Child as canon personally, but yes, in the Cursed Child book, Harry's youngest son, Albus, was sorted into Slytherin.
So Nina is bringing up an interesting point. She's saying, I would love some Harry Potter stories, kind of like how Star Wars does now, where we get to know other wizards in different houses instead of so many Gryffindors.
Oh my god, that's brilliant! I love that idea. Why
Yeah.
hadn't I thought of that?
I think that's really good, actually. And Christian saying Ron will say as Gryffindor, if not Hufflepuff. So he can also see that Hufflepuff
Agree.
side. Um,
Agree.
but and then Nina saying, "I love the Neville wand exploration." She says, "I need my own Neville series from his point of view." That would have been interesting, actually, to see his point of view as you see his character evolving. Now, I am
Yeah.
still reading the books because I don't know, I just gotta like stop. I'm still reading the books, but
It's okay.
I saw the first three movies and then I read the books of those three
Okay.
movies. And in my mind, I have the books more fresh than the movies.
Yeah.
So um so I have been getting to know Ron in the books compared to the movies, and he is just such a I feel he can be a bit of a hothead, a little hot-headed. But he is just so he's got like this really big heart, and
Yeah.
and I
He
feel like
does.
that makes him brave and he wants to be there for his friends and he might not be the brightest, you know. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? Like he's just kind
Yeah.
of
No,
like
I
he's
understand.
just such a brave, really good friend. So
Hmm.
that's why I was saying I think he's great where he's at in Gryffindor. I think he was sorted perfectly.
Yeah.
Um and the reason and that's why I was kind of saying he could also fit in Slytherin because he is just so passionate, Um
Yeah, I can see
so
that.
so I don't know. That's why I don't know. I love Ron. I think he's amazing. But
Yeah.
Neville from his point of view, that would be interesting. So you can kind of see what's going on in his head, all these things that happen.
You know who would love that on Pottergram is Paula. Paula is like a huge, unpensible, however you say that.
Okay.
She is a huge Neville fan. She's a Hufflepuff. She's a Hufflepuff who doesn't like Cedric and refers to him as Dedrick.
Really?
It's so funny. Yeah, she's got some fun stuff on her Instagram page, but she absolutely loves Neville. So I think if that the idea of a POV show of Neville, I know she would absolutely love that. But yeah, it would be interesting to see different characters from these different houses um, have a show, and or maybe not necessarily have a show, but you kind of just follow them and like what the goings on inside their own house in the common room. I don't know. That'd be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. You see Christian's comment? um,
Yes.
he's saying, I just wanted to make a movie on Voldemort turning evil. I just think it would be so interesting to see a villain as the main character. So, it's kind of like Star Wars 2 in a way,
Wait,
where
but did y'all not watch House of Gaunt?
I haven't watched that
I
just yet.
Oh,
And
you need to watch it.
I do need to watch that. But this really is another parallel, I guess, with Star Wars, which I don't know much about, but I
Yeah.
did watch episodes 1, 2, and 3. So I have a different I guess perspective of Darth Vader going into episodes 4, 5, and 6, which I have been talking about this for like years. I still haven't watched these movies. But um I feel like that's a really good idea to do it that way. I know
Mm,
there's House of Count, which I still need to watch, but yeah, I
yeah.
feel like that would kind of give you like a different, it just kind of makes you learn more about him and
Yeah.
see if he was actually just born evil or if something
Mhm.
triggered him like with Anakin. So in a way, I think I don't know.
I can see that.
I'm not the
I can
biggest,
understand that. Yes.
yeah, like I'm not the biggest Star Wars connoisseur. I haven't even watched all the movies, but that's what I think. Like having watched episodes 1, 2, and 3, I feel like it kind of gives me an idea of how he was really this kind of like tormented soul in a way. He started off as a really sweet kid. I mean, based on the movies, I don't know. Sort of, kind of sweet kid, right?
I mean, yeah, one can argue that there there's many opinions out there, and there's of course books and things like that. But yeah, no, I think that would be interesting. So I'm reading the chat while you were talking, and Christian, of course, makes a good point about making a movie if Harry was evil, sort of into Slytherin, and how like all that would go on. Um, and then Oh, I see what you mean, Christian, about the House of Gaunt, it not
Mhm.
being canon. I totally understand that. I still think it's a great adaptation to kind of see like how Voldemort became Voldemort, and you learn the history of the Gaunt family, which are the last descendants of Salazar Slytherin, and that whole story line from the book Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which was not incorporated into the movie at all, but they do have substance, to reference. And it was really interesting. I would have absolutely loved to see. So I have a few like TV series that I would love to see be made, be it by, I don't know what streaming platform, probably HBO, I guess. If they did one on the Marauders, the founders of Hogwarts, and the struggles that they dealt with, with each other, and obviously Salazar Slytherin and things like that. I do want to see something that deals with. Oh, look, Christian agrees. They should make a movie
Mhm.
of Hogwarts created by founders. Definitely something more in depth with the Gaunts. I really did enjoy House of Gaunt. Don't get me wrong, but I think if that history was really delved into, that way you can see when Tom Riddle, or Voldemort, encountered that family, and how he got the ring from him. So there's a few that I like to see. I just hope that if that ever came into fruition, it's done well. You know what I mean? Because that's the problem with like um certain TV shows that come from stories, Game of Thrones, is that they're, when you run out of, content, when you run out of references and you just kind of start winging it, it can go south really quickly. But anyway, that's just me.
No, I mean, this is really interesting. I mean, I would love to definitely see something like that. So
Yeah,
let's see what happens. But kind of like rating it in real quick. Going
sure.
back to
I
you
could
see
talk
this.
about this stuff all day. You
Oh
know this, but
yeah,
mm,
I mean,
I'll keep you here.
which I feel no, which is like what makes it great because like we're already like 36 minutes in. I'm like, all right, good. I was like, this is all I have to talk about today. So I don't have that much. But this is what happens. We like talk and we really get into it, which is
Yeah,
why again it kind of makes me think again about the podcast idea. I do like that
we should do
idea.
it. We should totally do it.
We'll see. I'm gonna definitely kind of like think about it and see. Christian says, call me crazy, but what about a series about previous Triwizard tournaments?
Ooh, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I think even one more so like with Quidditch, like the Quidditch World Cup. Like if you actually see, like a game or something. I don't know, I think that'd be kind of cool too. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
that'd
I
be
agree.
interesting for sure.
That yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like I'm still reading the Goblet of Fire. I mean, I've been there for like a year at this point. But like in the book, they really go more into details as to what happens in like the Quidditch World Cup and all that whole
Mhm.
mess and everything that happened. And I feel like in the movie they talked about it for like 5 seconds. He was like,
Oh yeah,
and
for
it's like
sure.
it was like, wait a minute, all of this happened in the book. I was here for like reading all of this for like a while, and in the movie, it just kind of
Yeah.
like I was
It
like,
just
what the heck?
cuts. It just
Yeah.
cuts. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be really interesting. I mean, there's so much stuff that can be done from the books because they talk about
Oh
so
yeah.
many different things. Um, yeah,
I
I
want to know
mean,
more about Hagrid. I want to know more about Hagrid. Again, in Order of the Phoenix, you learn more about Hagrid. But to see that on the screen would be, to me, rather interesting. Um, but yeah, we should, Mel, because I was talking with Dawson about this on my channel, doing kind of like a character study, like
okay.
podcast style, breaking down, the character, let's say if it's Snape, you know how Dawson loves Snape. But then you have Allie from Magical Allie, who does not like Snape, even though she's in Slytherin. So just kind of getting those two different perspectives, like again, breaking down the character, and then having, one person say what they like about that character, and then other what they may not like about the character. So that might be something,
Yeah, let me
we
know.
can collab on it and, make
I,
happen.
I am definitely down. I was gonna say something, and oh, something about the Goblet of Fire. You see, I keep on
Mm.
to all these squirrel moments. I will show the Jessica Rabbit pin in just a minute, but
Oh my gosh,
so
I forgot about that
no,
already.
so as I'm reading the Goblet of Fire, and then they were talking about like the villas,
Hmm.
So and they Jessica who and
Never heard of her.
it's like I want to learn more about it. How
Oh yeah.
Flor de la Cour is part Vila, um, and how there are these like kind of I don't say sirens, but I guess that's kind of like a way of not like a
They're
mermaid,
kind of
but
like
like
sirens, but
yeah,
yeah.
in like what Viking floor, like it's like the folklore, like it's a Viking culture that the Vilas kind of come from.
I have
Um,
no idea.
I forget. I was reading it and I was like, huh, how these villas kind of like hypnotize like men and kind of like
Mhm.
they're so pretty, like they're like whitish hair, and how
Mhm.
like uh they do this whole like show during the Quidditch World Cup, and
Yeah.
I think Ron's like, you
I
know,
know, like all the boys are just like,
yeah, and like they don't really you don't see any of that in the movie.
no.
So it's kind of
They cut out a lot in the movies. I mean, just for
yeah.
time purposes, obviously.
I feel
And
like that
then
would yeah,
but
that
then
would have made
you have to consider too, like, is that part of a character going to carry into the rest of the story? Is it going to matter in the end? And if you can cut those corners, then you're gonna cut those corners, which is obviously what they
true.
did.
I feel
So
like that would have made Floor's character in the movie more interesting.
the banter that she had with Mrs. Weasley, and I know you're not there yet, in I think I think it's Half-Blood Prince, um, is just epic. I mean, yeah.
So so yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I was like, they should maybe do yeah, like talking about like some of these characters they're that they talk about in the books, but maybe not in the movie. Like I said, something
Mhm.
about like the different schools, like a Durmstrang
Oh, yeah.
movie, or like
The Beauxbaton movie.
Beauxbatons movie, right? And then I would really be interested in seeing something about the Beauxbatons and like the villas and all that stuff, and how they would use that to their advantage, and
Sure.
how like Florist part Vila, and I don't know. To me, that
Yeah,
sounds so interesting. So
it would
I
be.
think that yeah, I would definitely be into that. But reining it in real quick,
Let's talk about Jessica Rabbit.
I know because she's like
Because Christian's like,
Jessica.
"Jessica who?
I
Who's
know,
that?
right? I think we gotta
I
show
never
him
heard of
who
her."
Jessica is, right? So, these pins just came out on Friday, and we have talked about Artland and
Ooh,
Paul's Gallery before. These pins are freaking amazing. So these are the two pins that just came out. I'm gonna start with this one because I'm just my
my
mouse already on that,
goodness.
and it's such a stunning pin. It's limited edition of 300. It's 3 inches round. And let me see if we have it doesn't seem like we have other typically we have like some pictures here. I don't know why they're not
Mhm.
like
It looks like it's
showing.
just that one.
Yeah, I don't know what is up with that. Let me see. Yeah, there's nothing else for me to click on. That's so weird.
Hmm.
But this is such a pretty pin. So it's a pin and pin design with Jessica on top of a metallic background with embossed hearts. I think it's such a cute pin. I'm so excited they did this. The AP version, or artist proof slash pre-production um
I'm glad
version
you
of this.
explained that because 'cause I'm like, I don't know what any of that
So,
means.
yeah, so artist proof and pre-production, so are pins that are made before the final production of a pin, and then sometimes when they go into the final production, they might make some tweaks to the original version of it, which would have been the artist
Okay.
proof pin. So some collectors really like to have those artist proof pins because there's only going to be so many of them. Like I like to get the artist proof or pre-production pins, but they tend to be more expensive. As you can see, it's $81 for that. If you get the numbered
Wow.
edition, it's $60. So it's a quite considerable difference. So for this one, I
Sure.
was like, I'm just gonna go with the numbered edition. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm the only one that's gonna see this anyway. But this is such a gorgeous pin. And
It's stunning. It
yeah.
really is. I mean, I like and I don't know if it's maybe just how the pin was photographed, but it looks like we've got, like, some highlight on her gloves, and it's, like, the little details of that, to me, that make a pin something, like, basic to something, like, a little bit more extravagant, if you will. I love the background that they decided to do with the embossed hearts. You said it's a metallic background with embossed hearts. That looks stunning. I mean, they could have just
Mhm.
left it, plain, right? But or not metallic or not embossed. But I think that choice in design really makes this pen.
Absolutely, and then and, her dress is so sparkling because you can see just a little bit right here.
Just a
um,
little bit.
just a little bit of that sparkly dress, so I absolutely love this pin, so I had to get it. So if you guys are Jessica Rabbit fans, this is a good pin to get. This is the first time that I see these pins coming to Artland. Uh, and then, of course, there's also this pin which I also had to get. And Raul, thank you for joining. Good morning, good afternoon. He says Roger Rabbit
Hi.
is awesome. Look at this pin though. I
Ooh.
love that it's like this translucent kind of like pin. So for this one, it says it's the couple are looking typically they describe exactly, what the pin looks like. But look at this. I love this. You know what? I thought it was is it translucent? Yeah, I think so, right? Kind of
It
looks
it looks like it because I don't see why they would show in the second picture the lighting the way that they do. It looks
it looks
yeah, it
like it
looks a
could be,
little
right?
transparent or
Yeah.
translucent, whatever, one of the same kind of word. So yeah, I mean, the fact that they're tied up and they're looking at each other so lovingly, as the description says, in
Right.
such a dangerous moment, it looks really cool. I think it's really interesting with the choice of, again, the background to either make it semi, transparent. And because when you put like lighting in a certain way, I mean, it makes the shadow makes it seem more, like they're in a dangerous situation, right? I don't know. Maybe it kind of invokes some sort of emotion. I think
Yeah.
you could probably say, yeah, it's a really interesting design. And then, like what you're saying here, we can see more of her sparkly red dress, and it looks stunning. It looks really good.
Yeah, this pin was so nicely made. Like I said, I had to splurge and get these two pins. And as you can see, the artist proof version of this pin sold out.
Hmm.
Um, so we just have the numbered edition. So I spent what, like $130 in between these two pins. They have free shipping. um,
There you go.
but this is such a gorgeous pin. Limited edition of 200. It's round, 3 inches. I don't know. This is such a beautiful pin. Hey, Las, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I mean, I was so excited when I saw this on Instagram because I follow Pulse on Instagram, and I was like, I need this pin in my collection. Like, I haven't been this excited for a pulse pin in a while. Travis is saying, I got a feeling you're gonna love it. Yeah, I mean, I'm already loving it. I'm already loving it. I think, oh my gosh, both pins were really nicely made, but I love all the different elements they are incorporating into this pin. The
Hmm.
background appears to be translucent. And then, but you also see the brick wall like that. And then how
Right.
it's like a pin on pin design where you see where they're kind of like hanging off this rope here, the
Yeah, and
glitter.
that's what looks really cool because it's giving you that dimensional, element to it. Like they're in the foreground, and the background of the brick wall is literally that, a background. It's well designed. Definitely well
Yes.
designed.
Oh my goodness. Like it is a little pricey, but I was so excited to order these. So I'll definitely do a video on these pins once I get them. I was so excited. So yeah, we got that release on Friday. So now
Very
you know,
cool.
guys. So if you're into that, that's something cool that you can possibly look into getting. Now, talking about, we have one more Disney news, and then we're gonna go back to Harry Potter because there's something that we kind of have to debate here. So um, another thing that we saw on Friday was a preview of the brand new um Shop Disney collection that's coming out for 2022, which is Mickey Mouse, the main attraction. Now, I did a video on that yesterday, just kind of giving my thoughts on it. But I want to talk about it here too. So, Shop Disney has been releasing monthly collections for the last at least 4 years. And for 2018, we had Mickey Memories. For 2019, we had Disney Wisdom. 2020, we had Minnie Mouse, the main attraction. And last year, of course,
Mhm.
we had Stitch Crashes Disney, which has been kind of messy. They're still releasing items for that collection. Um,
Yeah, last week's live stream, y'all talked about that um, in depth, I guess you could say, and Yeah, so I'm not too familiar with all of this, Disney. I don't do Disney like y'all do. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate it. But I'm excited to learn and see what all this is about.
Yeah, so for 2022, we're gonna get Mickey Mouse the main attraction. So, while it might seem like a recycled idea because we had Minnie Mouse the main attraction a couple of years ago, I feel like,
Mhm,
the more I think about it, it just kind of complements that collection we had a couple of years ago. It complements Minnie Mouse the main attraction, so you can put all these items together. So it looks like every month the releases we're gonna get are gonna be just like Minnie Mouse and Main Attraction, where the first one was Space Mountain, the second one was Pirates of the Caribbean, and so on. Um, Now it looks like we're gonna get the same type of items, a plush, a bag, a pin, and ears, but unlike Minnie Mouse, the main attraction, where we also had a mug, this year they replaced the mug with a key, which, in my opinion, I think is going to be the hot ticket item for this collection.
mhm.
I'm not crazy about the pin. I think that when they did Minnie Mouse, the main attraction, and it was a three-pin set, that pin set was a lot nicer than this solo pin that we're getting here. It appears that it's going to be a bit of a bigger pin, but it doesn't say much to me, to be honest. So the one item that I Travis, Disney, the king of recycling content and ideas. um, so I don't know. Out of all these items, even though I'm a pin collector, the one that I'm excited about is the key. So what do you think
Mhm.
about this, Brittany? Kind of seeing a little preview of what is going to be released. I'm assuming later this month. What do you think about that? Is there an item that kind of appeals to you out of all these items?
So I'll just say this too, because I totally understand the idea of recycling, ideas, content, what have you. And for those who may not know, I work as a graphic designer. I've been one for the last 10 years. So in the sense of having like companion pieces is kind of important in a way. And I would imagine this would be just something for, obvious Disney collectors, be it the pins, the key, or mini. Wow, that was redundant. Minnie and Mickey, um, you know, collectors, right? And so, from what you're saying, this type of collection was done a couple years ago with Minnie Mouse. So to have Mickey would be that, kind of companion piece to it. Now, I would agree. Yes, it may be redundant and what have you. Um, but what I do like, Mel, here, I really like the ears. I think the ears are really adorable. I like the idea that you have, is that I can't even tell what attraction that is. Is it
Space
what is it?
Mountain.
Spain. Okay. I've only been to Disney once in my entire life, and that I was like 19. I didn't get to go on that ride. That's why it's not familiar to me whatsoever. So Space Mountain, I like the idea that they have like your little rocket ship, blasting off from one ear and it goes into the other ear, and you have like some sparkles, you have like that little sheen to it. It's really really cute, and I like the kind of cosmic galactic background that they've got. I think that looks super, super cute. Um, I want to say, did you and Christian and Michael talk about the key last week on your
Yes.
live?
Yep, we
Okay.
talked about that briefly because we before shop this preview we got from Shop Disney UK on Instagram. But there was
Hmm.
a shop from Hong Kong, I believe,
Hmm.
that they do pickups and stuff, and a lot of these items get released in the Asian parts and in Japan, China,
Right.
and stuff first. So
Right.
this pickup service was already selling some of these items, and the key was one of those items.
Hmm.
So yeah,
And
that's
I
what we
think,
used last week.
yeah, and I think Christian, I think it was Christian who made the point about the key. Again, I don't collect Disney like you do or many others here. However, I have seen the keys, and it seems consistent that they like the little what I think is the castle here. It's done upright as opposed to being pointing towards the bottom. When how you display it, and so I think that was a smart decision that they obviously made the castle upright on the key. Does it look like a key in that sense because it's upright? Maybe not, but just for you know aesthetic, it looks a lot better. But honestly, Mel, nothing here really speaks to me personally to, you know, uh, want to purchase. I do think the backpack is extremely adorable, again, with the sparkle and that kind of galactic kind of look. it's really fun in my opinion because I like the contrast with having like the background of the cosmos or whatever on a white backpack. I don't know. It just really it pops. It just again I think like a graphic designer, it just pops. But yeah, no, nothing in this collection really like makes me want to go and just be like, I need to have it. So look at those
So
ears.
these were the ears that we got. I'm gonna make myself full screen real quick. That
Yeah,
we
do it.
got with Minnie Mouse, the main attraction. So these were the Space Mountain ears.
Those are
So
cute.
the ears were a little different, as you can see. Like they were all glittery. I mean, not glittery,
Mhm.
had sequins. And then I
Mhm.
feel like uh I guess the representation of Space Mountain was a little more abstract here, where you have these
Yeah.
things here, and
Yeah.
then you have what it looks kind of like almost like a pin here, and
Mhm.
then we have the fabric. So this was more of like it's supposed to represent Space Mountain, and but the only reason that you really know is because you have it right in the middle. So with
Right.
the ears that we're gonna get for Mickey Mouse, the main attraction, as you can see, I feel like it's more literal. Like you
Yes.
actually see Space Mountain here, and then you have the rocket and
Mhm.
there's no bow. So there's bow on this one, no bow on that one.
Right.
So I
Right.
think that I like these a little bit better just because I feel like they are I would say more elegant. I think they're prettier. Like for me, I think they're prettier, but I think that maybe these ears might appeal to like a broader like audience, I guess.
Sure, definitely. But I still can see how like the Mickey ears of Space Mountain would be that companion piece to
Right.
the ears that you just showed. So in that sense, like that's cool. I mean, for if you just want the ears for yourself or you want to, go with your significant other and,
True.
matchy matchy, like that's cute. I like that idea. So if I was into, the Disney collecting or getting the ears, I think I definitely would want to get these ears, especially if I have the ears that you already have, just to kind of complete that set.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I could probably force my husband to wear the Mickey ones, and I can wear these. Be like, "Hey, you
They're
can just
so
wear those."
cute.
Hey, Laura. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, Travis is saying, I can see that they did a few sets of keys before, mystery sets, and then locks would come up
Oh,
later. Who knows? They may make locks for all the recent key releases. That is interesting. I don't have any of those
huh.
keys with the locks, but that is a really neat concept. But I really like that. And what you were saying, Brittany, about the lock, oh my goodness, the castle being upright rather than
Uh-huh.
down. I think that's
Yeah,
cool because it would help you appreciate the castle a little bit better. And yeah, I just think it's really nice. Like
I agree.
um the we have a Space Mountain right here. I can't
Hmm.
quite read what it says here. I think it says Mickey, I'm not too sure. And then the castle, and it does have a 50 right here.
I
So
think it
not
actually says Space Mountain.
oh
It might
man, I'm
actually say
blind.
Space Mountain on
It
there.
does I think I think that's the Space Mountain. From here, I can't really see it very well, I'm blind.
I know, I'm like right up against the screen. Like, what does that say?
But yeah, I mean,
It's
and I
okay.
like that it's also not only just Mickey Mouse, the main attraction, but it's also like a piece for the 50th. So again, if I
Hmm.
can only collect one, even though I'm a pin person, it's not gonna be the pin. I would go for the key, which again, I really think that the key is gonna be the hot ticket item for this collection.
Hmm. Well, and I know that you collect keys now. I know you have your frame to display your keys. And so, like, this is, yeah, that's totally right up your alley. The pin, and I know you're an avid pin collector, it just seems very basic. It doesn't seem like, the wow, it doesn't have that wow factor like what we saw with the Jessica Rabbit pins from
Right.
the other company. It to me, it's just very basic. Which is not a
Yeah.
bad thing necessarily. I mean, you don't want it to, like, necessarily be all crazy looking, but it just seems very basic.
Yeah, like I have a picture on my phone. I'm actually trying to pull it up because I don't have the pins handy right now. But I took this
Mhm.
picture for my let me see, for my video on Mickey Mouse the main attraction. So these were
Oh,
the pins that
yeah.
you got with Minnie Mouse the main attraction. So you got actually got a three pin set.
Cute.
So you got a pin that oh my god, let me see. That was Minnie right in the middle. Oh, and then and then you had a pin that kind of resembled the ears that you would get, and then of
I
course a
like that
pin,
one.
and then of course a pin that hold on, a pin that kind of resembles the ride. So I
Right.
think these pins were actually a lot nicer than
Mhm.
what we're gonna get so far. And I'm not just trying to like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I think that let me see here. I think that I don't know. I'm really looking forward to the key. So we'll see what we how it's gonna go, once
Mhm.
we see the actual release for this. Now, how about we move to some Harry Potter
Before we do,
news?
Mel,
Oh,
before we do, this is still on Disney topic because I have some things to show y'all that I
woo!
purchased because
Okay.
late night shopping and me does not mix well. I've purchased way more things than I should have, but one of them is a Disney item, and Mel, I have you to partially blame for it. So now, before
A bad influence.
you are you and Christian and Michael bad influences. Okay, so before I started talking to y'all, watching your live stream here on Sundays. I mean, I knew of Loungefly. I never owned a Loungefly bag up until Christian and Michael talked about that Luna one from fun.com. That it's like that black one, it's got the extra specs. Okay, I bought that one. I have now bought two more
Girl, that's so
Loungefly.
funny. You know what? Hey, it happens. It happens
Oh
because I feel
man.
like when I got sick, I started pampering myself with like things. So there's a
Yes,
bunch of things I
exactly.
ordered earlier this month are now showing up. So Dirk's like,
I know.
what's this? I'm like, I ordered this when I was sick.
Yeah.
Um, but I only have one
So,
Loungefly backpack, so I'm curious to see what you are gonna show. You full screen now, girl. Let's
oh
see.
god. Let's fix these bangs first. Okay, there we go. We've covered that forehead. Okay, so Mel, you're really gonna love this. And
Ooh.
and at the top of the show, you asked what my favorite princess was, and I told you it's Princess Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty. However, when I saw this bag on your Instagram, I had to get it.
Oh my gosh. I am so jelly because I love
Wait a
Beauty and
minute.
the Beast and I don't have this.
There you go. Can you see it? Is it? I
Yeah.
might need to take
It
off my
it kind of
blur.
blurs a little bit.
Yeah, let me take off the blur. That way we can appreciate this
Oh,
bag in all its glory.
oh my gosh. I love it. It is so
It
pretty.
is so stunning, and the fact that like the zipper here. Okay, so the front pouch zipper thing, it comes off, right? And Melissa, you should be sick a lot. You must be sick a lot.
I know. I saw it. I'm like, I know.
That's fantastic. Okay, so the zipper here, it's a little snug. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to get into and open, but you can manage it. But what I love absolutely about Sleeping Beauty in general, one, it's set in France. Two, stained glass. Like I'm a sucker for stained glass. I don't own any really, but the aesthetic behind it is gorgeous. It's beautiful. So the fact that this was illustrated in, of course, in stained glass kind of way, you've got the castle that's kind of raised off from the background. You've got Belle here at the bottom reading to the little sheep. Anyway, but then on the sides here, we've got Cogsworth and Lumiere. You know,
Cute. Is that an actual
just this.
pocket? Can you put like a water bottle in
That's
there?
what I'm trying. Yeah, you can. It's really snug
Ooh,
though. It's like super
okay.
snug. I still have like the what do you call it, the packaging inside to keep it its shape. And then on the other side we have
Oh,
Mrs. Potts and Chip, so adorable.
I
And
love
then
it.
and I haven't like done anything with the straps, but then we've got the back.
Oh my gosh. Travis says that you need the Jumbo Loungefly pin to match the backpack, and Laura says that you have a good radio voice.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I have been told that before. Um, Still something I probably wouldn't do. That's why I do the podcast here at times. But thank you. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't know about the lounge fly pin though. I'm not into like ginormous jumbo looking pins. I've gotten some in like subscription boxes or whatever, but like it's just not my jam. But that I Mel, did you order that pin that opens that's from Beauty and the Beast?
Yes, yes.
Is that
I
the same
actually
one that we're talking about?
probably because it is
Okay.
the same kind of like I guess design. And
Yeah.
Travis was asking or saying, speaking of stained glass, the new Beauty and the Beast mystery pins are so pretty. Not true stained glass, but such a pretty set. You know what? I don't have any of those just yet. I believe those are open edition pins. So next time I get to go to Disney Springs or just Disney, maybe I'll get some because hopefully they're still there, being that they're open edition. So they should have a lot of them. But no, not
Yeah.
yet. But bring me that bag. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's so stunning. It really honestly is. And the inside, it, like I said, it still had it has all the packaging here, but the inside, it's again has that stained glass kind of look. It's blue background. It's got the rose, pattern type, like here, here, just throughout. But yeah, I have you to blame for this because I saw the bag and I'm
You're
like, I
welcome.
want it. Exactly. Well, and then, we've talked, offline about, meeting up at Universal and things like that. And then, I don't know if that's going to happen the same time that, you're going to be out there with Dawson, a couple of other people. It's going to happen one day, just may not be as soon as we hoped. But then my husband was talking about, oh, we should go to Disney. And, we haven't been together since we've been married. And I'm like, well, if we're going to go to Disney, I need a Disney bag. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that is Loungefly number 1 purchase. I have a second purchase.
Oh my gosh. And Laura, she's like, I'm so surprised you have the pin. And no, she's not surprised. All right, so
Oh, okay.
let's see. What else did you get? Because I really love that backpack. I really want it.
I do
Oh
too.
my
It's so
god.
pretty. Now, this is not Disney related. However, I've had this on my Elfster wish
Oh my
list since it was announced.
I love that. I pre-ordered this bag through Entertainment Earth, and God knows when I'm gonna get it. So I'm waiting for mine to show up one of these days. It's so pretty.
And it's big. I was so surprised how large it is. Like, I'm a fairly small person. I'm under 5 foot. So, yeah, I did purchase this through Loungefly, and because I purchased this along with the backpack, I ended up getting that free pin,
Oh, the little
that
backpack.
little backpack pin. It's in the other room. It's okay. You know, it's a well done pin. Don't get me wrong. The finish is fine. It's just I think they could have done a little bit
Yeah,
more with
pretty
it, but
pretty simple, right? But it's like a
it's
nice
simple.
little
That's
gift,
fine. It's a nice little gift. Yeah, exactly. It's a nice little gift. But this, of course, is the Quibbler magazine crossbody purse, I guess you could call it. It's stunning because what I love is the detail here. You can see it looks like there are pages. The whole body of the purse is made up with pages, and then we have like this really sturdy chain, for the crossbody, or put it over your shoulder, whatever. And it's quite roomy. It's quite roomy. I will open it up that way you guys can see. It's got a magnetic clasp. I cannot even talk right now, but look at
It is
that.
so pretty. Oh
Isn't
my
it
gosh.
pretty? And then the inside here, of course, I still have, stuffing in there just to keep the shape. But this is probably going to be like my new everyday purse. And I honestly don't use purses. I have like a wristlet, that, just has my keys, has my, driver's license and credit card, and that's about it. So, but I'm like, I love it.
It is so pretty. And it's something that you can like dress up or down.
Exactly. That's what I love about this. Like, it's one of these things, like, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you're going to know what this is,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's one of those like conversation type starter deals. And I'm just like, I'm so excited to use it. But then at the same time, I don't want to use it because I don't want it to get dirty, especially since it's kind of got like this off-white color, and I don't want it to get dinged. But I'm like, but I want to use it.
Oh my gosh, yes, I cannot wait to get mine. Maybe I should have gotten mine directly from Loungefly, but you see, I thought this was gonna be like one of those bags that sell out quick.
Hmm.
So I did a pre-order through Entertainment Earth, and now I'm just waiting for it to show up. But I believe it's still available on Loungefly's website. I think it's like $60.
It is, and considering compared to the mini backpack that I got, it is cheaper, to go with the crossbody than it is with the Loungefly mini backpack. But I have no regrets, honestly. I still blame you, but like I have no regrets.
You know what? I agree with you. Even though these Loungefly bags, whether it's the mini backpack or like the crossbodies, they tend to be pricey. But
Mhm.
that bag, I feel like I think it's worth the money. I think that
Oh
it
yeah.
you know, 'cause
100%.
like we said, we can dress it up or down. I love that it has like a metallic chain, you know, as
Yeah.
like the little
And it's
holster.
heavy. It's heavy. Like, I mean, it's sturdy. Like that sucker's not gonna go anywhere. And it was what was funny is that I picked up the packages yesterday, brought them
Mhm.
home, unboxed, and I'm showing John, my husband. And when I showed him the Quibbler purse, he was like, "We have to go to Universal now." And I'm like, "Okay."
Be like, yes, we do, we
Yes, we
do.
do. I need to show this off. Like you don't understand. I need to show this off.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm even more pumped now to like get my bag. But since we're talking about Harry Potter, I think it's gonna be like our last topic of the
Yeah.
day. We're gonna end it a little early today because
Yep.
it's been kind of light on the news today, and of course we got a couple things to do. um, so I saw this earlier in the week. Hold on. So um and I actually saw it on Instagram, a preview of
Mhm.
this. So let me see. I have it on mugglenet.com. So this website, they kind of try to keep up with like Harry Potter related news and whatnot. So it was announced that Daniel Radcliffe is going to play Weird Al Yankovic in a biopic. And it's interesting how they have like the side by sides. I don't
Yeah.
know how I feel about this. Like, I feel like Russell Brand looks more like Weird Al
Yeah.
than obviously Daniel does. I feel like Russell Brand would have been a better. Okay, let me rephrase this. To me, Russell
Mhm.
Brand looks more like Weird Al than Daniel. I don't know. What do you think about this?
So I when I saw the news about this, I probably saw it on Facebook first, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Okay, I get it. Like, I just get it." I know there's talk amongst those on Pottergram where people feel like Dan Radcliffe just wants to distance himself as far as possible from Harry Potter. I can get that because you don't want to just always be known as Harry Potter, Harry Potter. You know, he actually has a wide range of different characters he's played. Some very serious, some like really extremely goofy. He's also been in theater, of course. So I think the fact that um he's been cast in this biopic of Weird Al Yankovic. I mean, Weird Al Yankovic is like a, quote unquote a weird dude. He's extremely intelligent, of course. And I think Dan can pull it off, honestly. I think again, it's just going to showcase his range that he's not just, pigeonholed for, one thing. He can do just about everything. And I'm actually excited to see how he does in this role. And honestly, Mel, I put this on my stories on Instagram the other day about what people thought about it, and mostly it was positive reviews. People were like in shock first, but they're like, "But I'm excited," And I I shared a picture of Weird Al Yankovic in his white and nerdy outfit because that has to be my favorite song from him, um,
Mhm.
and that goes back to the song "Ridin'" from Chameleonaire's from Houston. I live in Houston, so like that song just holds a special place in my heart. So when White and Nerdy came out, I was just like, yes, I'm here for it. So I want to see true too if Daniel's actually going to do his own performance of these different songs, or is he going to be dubbed? You know what I'm saying? So I know he can sing. Um and I want to see him in this role. I think it's going to be a fun role.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, just like you and many people, I was like shocked when I first saw this. I was like, "What on earth?" But yeah, I mean, I feel like even though the minute you think of Daniel Radcliffe, you think Harry Potter right away, like
Of
one, two,
course.
three, Harry Potter. But I do think that he's a very talented actor, artist.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you and with Laura that yeah, I feel like he can definitely he can do it, but it's just getting past that initial shock, like, what?
Oh,
um,
Mel.
but
Okay,
yeah,
let me ask you first. Let me ask you because this might, tone down the shock. Have you seen Daniel in Miracle Workers in any of those
no,
episodes?
no,
Okay. Have you seen him doing like total like Vogue, singing "She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain"?
no. Maybe
Oh
because
my
I need
god.
to watch this kind of stuff, so that way it just
So
get me past the initial shock.
that that scene in itself from Miracle Workers, and just to kind of like set it up, he plays like a priest, religious individual in the era of the West, right? And he gets on stage and is wearing like no shirt. He's got like chaps on. He's got like makeup, like the fabulous, type of, Vogue. Like I guess what would see maybe at a drag show. I have never been to a drag show, so forgive me, everyone. Um, correct me if I'm wrong, but Daniel's performance in that scene and singing "She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain" is hysterical. So when the news broke out about the Weird Al Yankovic casting, I was like, I totally get it. I totally see it. So that might, Mel, like I said, tone down the shock and surprise after you see that scene.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I do see what Laura's saying. Opposite of Potter,
Yes. Yes.
she said it was very adult.
It was hysterical. And then someone
Okay,
out there did like a remix where it's still Daniel from that scene. He's dancing, but the cutaways where people are watching him from the show, they inserted like the different professors from Harry Potter that are watching him like in just pure shock. It's so funny. It's so
okay. So
funny.
that's
You have to check that
okay. That's
out.
homework for me now. I gotta look into this. But yeah, I was just like, yeah. At first, I was just like I am very shocked. Like I can't picture it, but I know that he's a really talented actor,
Oh yeah.
artist. So I'm sure he can pull this off. But it's just getting past that like initial shock, But maybe I just
No,
need to
I,
watch those
I think it's
clips
gonna be
of those
fabulous.
in those shows just to um I guess yeah, I just kind of get past that initial shock. But like when I
Yeah.
first see Weird Al, I think that Russell Brand. I think that
Hmm.
he kind of
He
looks the
looks like him.
part.
Looks
Yeah,
like him.
and he is kind of goofy and eccentric, I guess,
Yeah.
which is
That's
totally Weird Al. So,
mhm.
but yeah, I'm definitely really interested in seeing how this goes and if he's gonna do the singing and yeah.
Mhm. Well, and I kinda relate it to, I can't think what platform it's gonna be streaming on, it might be Hulu, but the biopic of Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson.
Oh,
We
I
have
saw a
Tommy
preview of that.
Lee. Yeah, Tommy Lee is played by Sebastian Stan,
I
who
saw.
we know as Bucky
Mhm.
from, the MCU, and you look at him and you look at Tommy Lee, and it's like 2 completely different individuals, of course, right? But the fact that, like, if you're a talented actor, like, you should be able to pull off any kind of role whatsoever. So I'm really interested to seeing that. Sidebar on that note about Sebastian Stan, not only is he a hottie, he looks exactly like Mark Hamill when Mark Hamill was young. So if they're ever gonna do anything Star Wars
No, I didn't think
related,
about that. Yeah.
oh my gosh, you need to see the side by side. If Star Wars is ever going to do anything that they need like a young Luke Skywalker again, they need to cast Sebastian Stan. He's already part of the Disney family, might as well.
Yeah, so Laura says the Weird Al movie is gonna be on Roku.
Oh, I don't have Roku.
Neither do I.
Poopy.
I know. I know. I mean,
My
I
parents
wonder.
have Roku.
Oh, there you go. So you kind of have Roku.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I did see the trailer for that the Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson biopic.
Hmm.
Um, and I forget the girl that plays Pamela, like
Hmm. I don't know who
without
she
like
is.
her makeup and everything, she doesn't look anything like Pamela. And when you see the trailer, you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah. It's
like
crazy.
she
It's
looks
crazy.
just like her in the trailer. So
Hmm.
yeah, when I first heard about it, I was like how? But yeah, when you see a trailer, you're like, it's interesting, and they
Yeah,
do
for
look
sure.
the part. So
For sure.
yeah,
And like I said, going back to Dan and his, catalog of different roles he's been in, I posted one on my Insta stories sharing responses about what people thought about his casting as Weird Al Yankovic when he was, I think, still filming Potter, and he did the Broadway show of Equus or Equus. I can never pronounce that word. It has to do with the horse. But
Okay.
he was nude. Like he went full on nude in that show, okay? And he was also in the movie Horns, which I think that was like the first very intimate scene that I've ever seen him in. And I was like, okay, this is a little shocking. He's also played a villain type in Now You See Me Too. And, he was also like an undercover FBI person, and I can't think of the movie, but it's like he was part of the skinheads in the United States, and he has to figure out, what I mean, he has a wide range. I think there's another one of like something akimbo, where he has like guns for hands or something like that. It's such a bizarre, like out of this box type thing. But I think he's probably been trying to prove that he can do more than just Potter.
Right.
Not that he obviously isn't grateful for Potter. If you watch the reunion, I know you did. I think others may have watched it as well. He was very emotional about all that he did during those 10 years, the people that he met, the people that have shaped him into the person and to the actor that he is today. He is very grateful for that. So Potter
Yeah.
is always going to hold a very special place in his heart. But you have to grow from that. You have to evolve. And he's my age. He's about to be 33 this year, and you grow up. You can't be Potter forever. So
Yeah. But
but he's still Harry Potter to me.
yeah, and hey, Shuri, good afternoon. So, as you're saying that, Dan is very appreciative of what Potter has brought into his life, of his,
Hmm.
how it kind of started to shape him up as an actor because he started so little, right?
Yeah,
Um, and how he's doing all
definitely.
these roles that kind of break the mold. So he's not just Potter. It shows that he can just do anything, really.
Yeah.
You made me think of Robert Pattinson and his love-hate relationship with Twilight. So, you know what? Just to touch on this lightly, um, squirrel moment. Um, I love the Twilight movies. I
Yes.
freaking love them.
Yes.
I haven't read the books, but I've watched the movies. I don't even know how many
The books
times. I
were the books were decent. They were
so
better for sure.
so I love the movies. But I was a little like disappointed that he has such a love-hate relationship with it. It's almost like when you see these interviews, he kinda, like, despises Edward in a way, or he kinda, like
Is it the
I don't know.
role itself, or is it the fact that those years are spent with someone that he was in a relationship with and started with, and then what happened happened? You know what I mean?
It
Like,
it it could be, but I just feel like have I don't know if you've seen, interviews of him. He just kind of, like it's almost like he just feels like that is, like, a poorly written story, like, he just kinda, like, well,
kind of
I
not
guess
wrong.
But I don't know if you've seen any of those interviews. If you could go over
Yeah, I
Pattinson
have.
talking about Twilight, he is kind of like I don't wanna say he's not, um,
Ungrateful.
grateful, but it
Mhm.
it comes across as if he's not, as if he's just kinda like
He's bitter. I think he's
yeah,
just
like, it's
bitter.
like he just kind of resents Edward or even
Yeah.
being part of it,
Yeah.
and I that's how he came into my radar because of Twilight, and that's then when I saw that he was also in Harry Potter, so I was
He was
I
in
felt
Potter
like
first. He
I
was in Potter
know,
first, of course.
right?
He
So
died and became Edward Cullen.
right. So that's what I mean is that Twilight is the one that showed me who he was because I wasn't a Harry Potter fan at that time. I was
Right.
a Twilight fan first.
Right.
So just kind of seeing him just kind of, I don't want to say crapping on the movie, kind of like when he talks about these, you know,
Yeah.
it just kind of feels like regardless of, what happened with him and his co-star, like I feel like that exposed them to like the world and made him more like he pushed him more like out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was kinda like a comparison between Daniel Radcliffe and Robert
Yeah,
Pattinson,
yeah.
even though I love Robert Pattinson, he is
Yeah.
gorgeous, and I love him, and I cannot wait to see him in Batman. But I kind of like, I don't know, that kind of bummed me out a little bit just to see
Mhm.
his, I
Yeah.
guess,
No, I
somewhat
can understand
resentment to
that.
Twilight.
Now, I'm not the biggest Robert Pattinson fan in general. I mean, it might have a lot to do post Twilight. However, he also has a decent range
Hmm.
of acting as well.
Yeah.
I know he's been in some very like serious type roles. I know obviously he's coming out in the Batman. Now, I personally, I'm not looking forward to any of these DC things because I'm not a DC fan. I
Hmm.
like Batman. I like the Michael Keaton Batman from back in the day. Um, which I know he's also going to be incorporated into this movie. However, I'm just not I'm so it's like Spider-Man for me, and people might come at me for this. I was so over the Spider-Man thing when Tom Holland was being cast and what have you. Now, I will say Tom Holland, I feel, is probably the best Spider-Man out of, the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield thing. I didn't watch any of the Andrew Garfield ones because I just didn't care. But with Batman, I kind of feel like it's done. It's overdone. It's oversaturated. We've had so many, and it's just like there's been so many bad ones, and it just kind of leaves that bad taste in your mouth. So, and I'm definitely not a Ben Affleck fan. And when they casted him as Batman, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done with this franchise. I'm over it. I'm done. Peace out. Exactly. And
Right.
so
Yeah.
with Robert Pattinson, will he do a good job? He probably will. He probably actually will. I'm over it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I really did like Christian Bale as Batman, though. Did you watch those
oh,
movies?
okay, the Christopher Nolan ones are like hands down the best, of course. Love Christian Bale. That's another actor that's got a wide range that
Mhm.
can do it all. He's fantastic. But
I
anyway,
agree. I agree. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm really excited for Batman.
yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I feel like we can talk about all these kind of like nerdy topics and just, you
Listen, we
know.
got to make that podcast happen, Mel. Got to make
Okay.
it happen.
We gotta figure it out. Maybe we can do something like that. Pop culture, Disney, Harry Potter, Batman. Well, not, you know what I mean? Not Batman, but like talk a little bit about everything, like kind of like what we do here. So I'm gonna look into that because I do like the idea of doing like a podcast. Now with the podcast,
Mhm.
obviously I don't know. Are you able to make them live where you can interact with people, or no? They just kind of record them and put them out there.
So in the past, we actually used to record in a studio. So it was
Oh.
just my friends and I, and we had a cameraman who, it was a video podcast, but then this, as I said, we would upload the audio to Spotify, Apple
Hmm.
Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you can find podcasts. And I put in my YouTube link for the Watchers in the Basement in case anyone is interested in checking out my podcast with fellow friends of mine. We do pop culture things, MCU, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, The Boys. If y'all have checked out The Boys on Amazon, I'm so excited for the next season to come out. So we do just kind of like a lot of pop culture things. However, one thing we haven't really talked about on that podcast is Harry Potter because they don't watch Harry Potter. I need a
Oh.
Harry Potter podcast to happen,
Okay.
which is why I really want to do that whole Harry Potter character study over on my channel, Brits, hello, Brittany's Magic Trunk. I would love to have, you, Dawson, Allie, all y'all as guests on the show so we can talk all things Potter, of course, and talk about our favorite characters, talk about what we like, what we don't like. And I think that's something I would rather do as a live stream just so that we can have that engagement with, those who are watching and they can, give their insight about, what they like or don't like about the character or how it differs movie from the books, etc. So that's something I think needs to happen. I think the people want it, Mel. I think they absolutely want it.
Okay, just let me know and let me know which characters we're gonna talk about. I mean, obviously, I don't know as much as you or
Sure.
Dawson or Allie,
Yeah.
so I might
That's okay.
have
I mean,
some fake fan
even
moments.
and I think it still would have like a good perspective because I think there are still people out there who have solely just watched the movies and have never read the books or like you have watched some of the movies or all of the movies and are
All the
slowly
movies.
getting into the books. There you go. There,
I
I'm
watch
so
all
proud
the
of you.
movies, and
So proud of you.
I'm still on the 4th book, The Goblet of
That's
Fire.
okay. That's
So
cool.
I'm like
That's fine.
halfway through. It's taking me like
You're
a year
fine.
to finish the book. I'm typically not much of a reader, but I'm
Yeah.
getting there.
Yeah, no, you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Yeah, so but going back to your original question, we've pre-recorded, but we're now doing live stream on our channel, The Watchers in the Basement, and using StreamYard, just like what we're using here. Super easy to use, obviously, and I like the engagement with those those viewers, because they give their insight, of course, and they might know something that we don't know. And it's fun. It's fun to interact that way.
Definitely. So, guys, there's the link for Watchers in the Basement and for Brittany's regular YouTube channel. So definitely check her out. With that said, Brittany, what do you have coming up this week on your channel? What do you have coming up in the near future?
So honestly, probably nothing this week. I've taken a tad bit of a hiatus just because you knew, Mel, that I was finishing up my MBA last year. I finally graduated, thank God. And just kind of enjoying my time off from school. I don't have anything pending anymore. But holidays are always like a difficult time for people. And for me, it's kind of been up and down. Some things going on in personal life, and I want to sit down and, of course, record a couple of things. I want to do something about small businesses that I've purchased items from, just to give them a shout out, give them exposure, and because I really do love a lot of these products that small businesses put out. And I got two things that I just got. I did a late night live unboxing on my Instagram, and that was fun. I was like, just, oh my God. So those items are going to be talked about on the YouTube channel as well. But I also want to go over my t-shirt collection of, different Harry Potter things, both
Ooh.
licensed merch and then things from small businesses, subscription boxes, that kind of thing. Cause I have a decent collection of shirts. So that's probably actually going to be 2 videos. Um, And then again, like I said, the DIY pin board. It's been a little chilly here in Houston. Our winter is like all over the place. One day is like 80 degrees. The last couple of days it's been like in the 40s. So it's just like shock to the body. So, but that involves some spray paintings that I had to do outside, of course. So that might be postponed for a little while. But then I also, like I've mentioned at the top of the show, I got 4 new Lego sets that I want to do speed builds on. I think those are a lot of fun to do. And yeah, so I've got a little variety of things, coming to the channel within the coming weeks.
Well, that's really exciting. And of
Yeah.
course, you know that I love Legos, so I'm
Yes.
excited. And the t-shirt
Yay.
collection, because something that
Mhm.
I like about your videos, it's just really different that you dress up your mannequin.
Yeah.
It's just so unique and different, like nobody does that. And then it's kind of like, all right, what
Yeah.
are the mannequins wearing today? Or
I
like how you
know.
use it to like show, like
Mhm.
so I
Well,
think
it
that's pretty
it
cool.
beats having to like be awkward and like hold it up like this and be like, "Let me talk about the shirt." And I'm like doing one of these numbers. I'm like, "No, I have a mannequin. I'm going to throw it up there." Shout out to my mom for that, by the way. She found it, I don't know where, if it was like side of the road kind of thing, cleaned it up, spruced it up, whatever. And I'm like, "Hey, can I borrow that?" She's like, "Sure, get it out of my house." I'm like, "Okay."
That is actually
So,
really cool.
yeah.
That's cool. So it was like
Yeah.
free 99.
Basically. Basically.
That
Yeah.
is pretty cool, and like I say, it's such a unique touch. So if you guys have watched Brittany's videos, she's got a little mannequin that she puts different shirts on, and I feel like it's just so cool.
Yeah.
Like nobody does that, and it's just so interesting. So I can see how you will probably use that mannequin a lot for your um t-shirt collection video.
Yes. Yes. So, like I said, that'll be a two-parter. It's going to be the licensed merch, probably like from the parks, Hot Topic, Box Lunch, wherever licensed merch is sold, and then the other is going to be the small businesses, subscription boxes, kind of thing. And I like a lot of those shirts for sure. I wear those like on the daily, so I'm
Yeah,
looking
like I
forward to
actually
doing
have
that.
this shirt that Dirk got me, Ollivanders from
That's so
Box Lunch.
cute.
Thank you.
I love
So
that.
thanks. So it's like a newer t-shirt. I got it for Christmas. So
Oh,
yeah, so I'm
he did
excited.
good. He did
Thanks.
good.
You see, Derek, if you're watching, you did good. And he also got me a Jessica Rabbit shirt. So that was like
Oh.
cute. Yeah. I, it's like a long, it's funny. It's like a long sleeve yellow shirt that has Jessica
Oh,
with
cute.
with Benny the cab.
Mhm.
So it's so cute. But yeah, Squirrel Woman. So as far as what I have coming up in my channel, today's my filming day. So
There you
I
go.
have a couple of things that I got to film. I actually got a box from Goddess Provisions. So it's kind of just to kind of give you guys an idea. So I actually found this company through Instagram, and I think it was like one of those sponsored ads. And I started checking out the Instagram, and I was just like, I like this stuff. It's kind of like wizardry, kind of witchy, kind of like with
Mhm.
crystals, and it reminded me a lot of the Wizarding Trunk Divinations box that we got.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, okay, I might order one of these boxes. So I ordered one. I have it right here. I only like kind of like opened it, but I haven't so I'm
Really
excited
delved
to
into
open.
it.
Yeah, so I'm excited to do that. And I still have my Harry Potter advent calendars that I have been meaning to do videos on. So I have two right here. And I actually got a
That's
couple
fun.
things. Yeah, and I actually got a couple things from Cake Worthy. Have you heard of that company?
I bought something from Kate Worthy.
Did
I
you?
I I bought a dress from
Me
there.
too.
Is it the
Is it
Birdie Bots one?
No, I
You
ordered
didn't get
the
that
pi
one?
no, I ordered the
Okay.
pink one. The it kinda reminds me of,
Oh,
like, Luna. It has, like,
yeah,
this, like,
yeah, yeah.
white collar. Oh, it
Uh-huh.
was on sale, it was, like, 17 bucks.
That the same it was the same price for the Birdie Bots one. I literally, like, just washed it. So you have to let it air dry. You can't throw it in the dryer. So, I'm letting it do that its thing, and I think I might wear that for one of my t-shirt, videos. Even though it's not a
Ooh.
t-shirt, it's a dress. It's super comfy, it's super cute. You're gonna love wearing yours.
Oh, yeah, like, I got the dress and I got a shirt, and, I got
Oh,
them in
cool.
different sizes. I got the shirt in a medium, and I got the dress in a large because I just wasn't sure how the fit was gonna be.
I
Um
think it's true to fit. I think it's more true to fit.
So, it was a little loose, the
Mhm,
large dress, but I can make
mhm.
it work, I don't like tight fitting clothes, so
Yeah,
it was a
I
little
get that.
loose, but, maybe I can put, like, a little, oh my
Like a
gosh, like
belt?
a belt o yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't know. But that was
Ooh,
really
I
cool, and
love.
I know, I'm excited, so I'll probably if that'll probably be a short video, so I'll probably do a video on
Yep,
that too. But with that said,
can't
you
wait.
guys, we're an hour and 36 minutes into the show. Brittany, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so
Um
much for asking me to be here. I love it. I love talking with you, and I love talking with everyone that has joined us and learning, about the Disney things. Cause like I said, I'm not a Disney collector. It's really interesting to see you know, what really gets y'all like, oh yes, I want to buy it. And then I was just like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah. Pass.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, whenever you are available, I would love to have you back. Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah, and then you guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Everybody in the chat. Jody and Laura, Sheree, I know Mama J was here earlier today. Travis, if I miss anyone, I'm sorry. Last was here. Of course, McDorsh were here earlier
Yeah.
today. The Food Cat, Nina from Wrestling with Disney, Tats, if I miss anyone, I am sorry, but thank you so much, to everyone that stopped by. You see, Brittany, come back.
That's so sweet. Thank you, Jody and Laura. I really appreciate that. I
uh,
really do.
yeah, so I hope that everybody has a lovely Sunday. And then we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, y'all.